Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
We have the interpreter Maya. She will be my interpreter, and we have Erica, who will be your interpreter for accessibility for the deaf band, the deaf viewers, you name it.
Wonderful. Lovely to meet you guys.
Emily, welcome to the Cast Chat podcast. I really appreciate your time and your flexibility coming on the podcast to talk about your newest movie, The Witch Swamp, on the Hallmark channel.
Thank you so much for having me. It's such a pleasure to be here, and I can't wait to talk about it.
First of all, I love the movie. The poster, I love the movie. I was just like completely floored, and I had to give hands down to the cast and the director, David Strasser. Oh my God, that we when we get into a conversation, I will tell you my favorite part and my favorite perspective and angle. I was just like, cutest movie. I've seen it 4 times already since it aired. So it's
Oh
really
my,
good.
that's the hugest compliment. Wow. Oh my gosh, that warms my heart so much. I know we'll get into it. We had the most amazing time making this film, and to see how it's being received and how much the Hallmark audience loves it is just the cherry on top. I'm so happy to hear that.
Yeah. Okay. The Witch Swamp 2025 with Joke Foy, Pascale Hutton, and a special appearance by Matthew Hamilton, who played the brother. I thought I was like, oh my God, he's in this movie too? It's just too funny with all these random cameos. So tell me about your experience making that movie and the chemistry with the cast, and we'll move on to the location and get in deep with the movie.
Okay, amazing. Well, to start off, I was brought on board. I got an email asking if I was interested. I was given the premise and the script and told that I would be working with David Strasser, who I just finished working with on All I Need for Christmas. So I was very excited about the opportunity to work with him again. And then I read the premise and just thought this was so cute and unique. And I loved the character of Casey. I was just thrilled. I was very, very excited to be a part of it. And then you find out who the rest of your cast is, and they're amazing people like Jake, like Crystal, like Pascal, like Matt, Mallory, Jason. I mean, it was a dream team. I'm so lucky to have been a part of it.
Yeah. Uh, Now, let me, what would they like you answered already, what would they like working with director David Director again, even though you just finished filming and working with him on a different movie?
It was incredible. I love working with David. I hope to continue our relationship and get the opportunity to work with him again. He is just so positive and professional, and he has a vision, which is, I mean, I hope all directors have vision, but it was really nice. David and I met a month before filming to discuss the character, to discuss the script, and he kind of let me in on behind the scenes more so than I have had the opportunity to see before, which was very cool. When I worked with David previously, I was playing a sort of unlikable character, which was fun for me. Her name was Piper, and she was a workaholic and hyper competitive. And I was a little bit worried about how she'd be perceived from the Hallmark audience. I'd never seen a character like this in a script before. So had so much fun doing that, but it was also really nice to have the opportunity to work with David again and show him a completely different side of what I can do.
Now I know while I was watching the movie, I got them pointed out like I thought, okay, the location was very familiar, the barn and the setting. I was like, so correct me if I'm wrong. The same location and filming that was from another Hallmark movie called what was that? A Country Ready by Justy Metcalfe and Autumn Reader because they had the whole barn and the whole location was new and Jake was doing the dance number and the loft. And
Uh-huh.
that loft was familiar. I was like, I've seen that before. I'm trying to think. about the country movies or farm movies. So a country wedding came in my mind. So I was wondering if you do anything about it or with
I
any.
don't, I can't confirm that one, but I
Okay.
can confirm it was the farm that they filmed Smallville on. So this farm is definitely one that's used for filming a lot,
Yeah.
and you've seen it before, I'm sure, in another Hallmark movie. Absolutely.
Uh, okay. Now there's one part of the movie I was really like blown away with how David directed and did all the angles. My favorite was the birthday party game, the wish part, where you and Jake, the characters, are coming in and just blew out the candles and they did like a 360. I was like, oh my God, I love this movie already. Until I type it out in my reviews, I'm like, oh my God, this is a massacre. So how
Oh,
did that scheme work? I mean, what was the idea? Did it come out really good or did you have like a few takes? I mean, that was amazing.
Oh, well, we're so happy it turned out. That was the longest day on set, and it all took place in one location. So you wouldn't think that would be the longest day on set. However, there were so many resets of food, of presents, of like we kind of I guess we block shot, which meant that we're doing the scene from one angle and then we're doing the next part of the scene from the same angle and the next part of the scene from the same angle, and then they turn around for say Jake's coverage and we have
Wow.
all of those scenes. Even though they play kind of as one scene, it was really set up into three different acts. And then David and our DP, director of photography, Cody, had that idea for the track shot and having the rest of the restaurant and everyone disappear. And it was just so cool to have them bring that magic in and be like, yeah, you know what, we're gonna go overtime today, but it'll be worth it because this sets up the whole movie. So it's awesome to hear as an audience member that you felt that and it was worth it.
Yeah, I really enjoy that. I mean, I've had podcast chats with different actors and actresses and directors doing like, how did you do the shoot? I mean, what kind of light or filter you use? And that scene, I was just like, the 360 thing, and like do the black shot. I mean, take a shot and then stop and then move over here. Like you have like multiple different cameras going on at the same time. Or this one, okay, camera two, camera three, and then revolving around. Wow.
And Jake and I had to make sure we blew out all the candles, which wasn't easy. So they're doing the track shot and both our eyes are closed. And we're like, okay, we have to make sure we get all the candles without looking like we're blowing super hard because you'd get the shot, but then there'd be one candle left. And Jake and I would open our eyes and be like, oh, we missed it. We got to do it again. So there's lots of moving pieces there.
Wow. I really like that part. So now the dancing and the wrist swap, but then I was just like, it reminded me of Freaky Friday, that one of the mom and the daughter switch bodies, but the whole concept with the wrist swap. And the moment when you had like a light bulb, like, you got that phone call. That's my wrist. And then I tried hopefully that character catch on. He was like, after the next day, you got a phone call about land. I was like, don't you see what's going on here? Let's help each other out. And how the movie carried it on with you two partnering together, making all of the wishing happen.
Yeah, I mean, again, what a great premise. In this world, getting to be on the farm and getting to be in this dance mode, and you know, Henry being a fish out of water, as well as Casey, and getting to work together to make our wishes come true. I thought it was so beautiful, and I thought that you got to see these two people really become friends and partners and helping each other as the love builds really naturally and organically because of all of these experiences they're having together. So yeah, I'm with you. I just think it's such a great premise.
Now the dancing, I mean, I know most Hallmark movies are like, 15 days, give or take. So how did you and Jake like make magic with different kind of dancing for the dance contest.
Yes, that's a great question. I think we shot this in 12 days. I think it was a 12-day shoot. So it was very, very fast. And we had two rehearsals right before we started filming. And we had a wonderful choreographer, Melina, who, I mean, what a blessing. She really took us through everything. But Jake also has a background in musical theater.
Oh,
So I was very lucky to have him as a partner. And the first day of dancing, he showed up and, we got in our waltz position and he was like, "Don't worry, I got you." And I was like, "Oh, okay." I danced a little bit in high school, but I'm certainly not a professional dancer. I know I can learn choreography, but it's fast. And then basically, whenever Jake and I had any downtime, which wasn't much, we'd be off in a corner practicing all of our steps just to make sure that the dancing went as smooth as it could on the last day. So it was cool to see them all come together. I think all the dances looked great.
yeah, definitely. I watched. I was like, huh, even I can't do that. I mean, I don't know how they like practice the game and do the filming, and let alone learning a complete new talent. Even though you have a background or you don't have a background, just go with that.
Yeah, you just have to go in with confidence and think I can do this. And you have to tell yourself that and, put in the practice. If we didn't practice, we would have been in trouble. Our final day of filming was all of the big dance numbers. So we're doing each of those dances 15 to 20 times back to back. It is a tiring day. But we knew our stuff and we were in it together and we were ready to go. And, I think the editors really did an amazing job cutting it all together, but we were ready. I like to think that even if it was all the one big wide shot, you would have seen us out there just performing to the best of our abilities. And I think we did pretty good.
Yeah. Now tell me about the farm that you like inherited and then you were learning so much about the chicken and had a little bit of a pep talk with the chicken, which I was thinking was really cute. And Henry was like, I think I'm going to like Katie and the baby goat. I mean, how was it with working these farm animals? I mean, what was the process for trying to nail down the gene or the situation with no live animals?
Oh my gosh. Well, it was a dream come true for me. And in my meeting with David in advance, knowing that we were going to be on a farm, I told him I'm more than comfortable with animals. I love animals. So whatever you want to throw at me, I am game. So the chicken story, I think, was already in the script, but he added the goats and the milking of the cow. That all came later. So that was just a fun bonus. I mean, wild animals are wild. That chicken, there's a shot I think of me reaching up and calling Chicken Little a drama queen and one chicken jumps out and I'm like, not unlike you. And of course that was not on the page. That chicken was just performing. It was just perfect timing and you go with it. So I mean the animals were all super adorable and we had the best time working with them. I think we had to ADR quite a bit of the scene at the dairy farm because the cows did not stop mooing. So you can just imagine that
Oh,
all over all of our lines, they're just, you know,
yeah. Was it difficult to do ADR with trying not to, because I know some people have like challenges with ADR trying to like match up the timing and the pace of the line to match up the voice and the mouth movement. And I get that sometimes with YouTube or other TV shows. I'm like, the cops, way ahead of this. What's going on? So I would have to like restart or troubleshoot it.
Oh yeah, it ADR is a very specific skill. Being able to match exactly where you were emotionally, where your voice is sitting, how you said the word, the inflection, and the timing. It's a specific skill set. I really like it. I find it a challenge, and I do a lot of voice work, so I didn't find it too challenging. I do. I would say I'm pretty good at ADR, but when it doesn't line up, when you see it in a show, it is so distracting. So I'm with you. It can be very challenging.
Yeah. Now, when you were filming that movie, what was the very first couple of scenes you shot and why? Like some movies would shoot the last, boom, and then work backwards or jump in the middle. And there's a specific purpose or reason for shooting out of place than the rather the movie order or the script order.
Right. We just finished this in November, so it's not that far back, but you are testing my memory right now. I think that we
Okay.
shot most of the farm stuff first. Uh,
Okay.
Stuff, I feel like that was all pretty early on. There was two different farm locations. So the barn you were talking about that I said was the Smallville farm, all of that stuff kind of came first. And I think that's just when they could lock down the location. And then it went into some office days. Then we had the dairy farm, and then the dance days were the last days that we shot. I don't think anything was for a specific reason, but I'm very happy that the dance day was the last day so that we had more rehearsal time.
Yeah. What were some of the challenges while you were filming the witch swap? Like location challenge or weather challenge or I don't know, animal challenge. I mean, nothing we could do about that.
No, and I honestly, when you asked that, nothing came to mind immediately, which I think says a lot about this set. I think we had an amazing crew, an amazing cast. I don't remember there being any major standouts. Um, Dancing the tango on a carpeted stage was very difficult. I don't know what that stage is meant for, but not dancing. So I would say that was a challenge. There's a lot of sliding and gliding and spinning, and you can imagine a carpet is going to slow you down when you're doing.
Like,
Yeah,
but that's not how it's supposed to go. Like, that is,
exactly.
yeah.
So I'm glad that you can't notice that in the final product. I'd say that was tricky. That big day of us blowing out the candles and all the resets with the cake and block shooting that was a hard day just because everything took longer than anticipated. And sometimes when you're stuck in one location for a long time, it can feel the day feels extra long. But overall, I can't remember any major hiccups. Oh, I will say the first cow. So in the scene where we're milking the cow, that particular cow didn't want to be milked, had already been milked that day and was like, do not come near me. So we actually did the milking of the cow days later at a different farm with a cow that was happy to be milked. So that was one hiccup, but we made it work.
Yeah. Challenging. I mean, some cows do not want to be touched. Some cows are, okay, go ahead.
I get it, and we'll respect their wishes.
Yeah, definitely, because you don't want to be kicked.
Mm-mm.
Any behind the scenes stories or you want to share from the witch swap that you take on?
Off the bat, I'll just say I dancing in the back of the truck just felt really magical and sweet. And getting to film with Jake, he's just such a lovely person. I really enjoyed getting to know him. And, one of the feedback that we're receiving is that we had such great chemistry. And I just have to say it was truthful. Like we became great friends on this and continue to be friends. And I'm so grateful to have met him. And I just feel like the behind the scenes is that Jake and I really did have so much fun together. And I think that translates on screen, which is great. He was the best dance partner and he was the best scene partner. And, I'm really proud of the work we did. And it's again so awesome to see how much people are enjoying the movie because we had so much fun making it.
Yeah, I could definitely spot on the chemistry of students who walked in the restaurant with their girlfriend and they look, I'm like, okay, then. I mean, the whole movie, the connection and the bond and the slow burning, like friendship. Okay, I could go with this and this Casey. Okay, I'm starting to like Henry, maybe not so bad, and then until the pop up email mishap finding out what was Casey's third or fourth or fifth wish finding live. I was like, oh no, you did not. We did not should do that.
I know. He just could.
But again, it's Hallmark. We need to have conflict.
You have to have a conflict. I know it was really tragic. And like clearly Casey was not in a place to be vulnerable. And I think she was in denial about the idea that Henry could possibly be this person. And even if he was, she could never tell him that that was her third wish. How embarrassing, right? Especially once we find out that this has been on her list for years and it just hasn't happened for her. And so to be vulnerable and share that with someone, and then to have someone just kind of take that secret, you feel for her. You really do, because she wasn't ready to share that.
Yeah, yeah, because that that happened overnight. Again, it's a Hallmark movie now that you keep wishing for something after year, that happen, but eventually it will catch on or happen. So, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, do you have a favorite part? Do you have a favorite scene or a favorite part what you really enjoy and filming throughout the whole movie?
I mean, the dance sequences for sure, but especially I would say the montage bits in the farm, when we're dancing between the stalls or we're dancing up on the rafters. I just think those turned out so beautiful. So beautiful. David did such a great job with our DP, and it was very fun to film, and it was very cool to see all of those things cut together with the music and everything. I loved the montage bits.
For the montage, for the show, different parts of the farm and dancing, whether like at different times of the shooting or to do like filming right off during the filming, like if they're in this area, you film it, you edit and put it together, or was it all at a different time for the
Uh,
montage?
some of the montages were filmed on the same day, for sure.
Okay.
It just depended on location. So, like when we're fixing the fence, that was filmed potentially on a different day because we were out in the field. But all the dancing in the barn happened on the same day because we were filming in the barn that whole day. So it just depended on where the location was. But they found lots of fun little bits for the montage.
So this was your first time working with Jake, right? So
Yes.
how did you guys like bonding or come together, preparing the script, preparing your line for games to do rehearse by yourself for example, or to just like hang out together? Okay, let's do this part. What do you think about this? How was your relationship with Jake working on prepping for this movie?
We were always rehearsing. We had our dance rehearsal, I think, a day or two before we started filming. And after that, we met with David and we had a rehearsal of a couple of really pivotal scenes in the movie. And then you're in it, then you're shooting, long days. But Jake and I were always running lines, talking about scenes. If something wasn't sitting right with us, we would really try and get to the bottom of it and make every scene the best we could, and also involve David and our producer Michael, and say, this doesn't make sense to me because we did this in this scene before. What do we think if we just shifted it to this? And they were always game. Everyone, we were just such a great team all together, making the script the best we could. And Betse Morris wrote a beautiful script. I'm so happy that she came up with this idea. And really, just on the day, sometimes you just something comes up or you get an idea, and it's nice to be flexible with that. So Jake and I were always running stuff because there's so much dialogue and you move so quickly that you might get two takes of something and you just want to make sure that you're ready and on your game. So I was very lucky. We had lots of rehearsal in between all of the filming.
Was there any part of the script that you, Jake, David, like collaborate with the writer? Like if you feel there's one part or moment that you feel is not working or something missing, were you able to like adapt it, not change it completely?
Yeah, there was a few moments in there where we had to shift things just a little bit, just based on location, premise, the way things had shifted. You're holding a different prop than you expected, or things like that. So, there were slight changes throughout, but we stayed true to Betsy's story for sure.
À, but the comment and question that could take up the witch swap. So again, it was a really good movie, really cute, and I like how the story flowed, and the whole cast of the movie was just amazing. I mean, Pastor, the damn toad, I was like, okay, she's good from knowing her from one called The Hearth and some other movies. She literally spot on talented actress in all of the movies and her TV series. And you must be very lucky to have a chance to work with her and connect with her on The Witch Swap.
Oh, she was wonderful. I mean, what a pro. She shows up, she knows her stuff. She had the best outfits. She was very commanding. And it was so fun. It was so fun to see Jake and hers chemistry because, Henry felt like she was really out for him, which was really fun. And then you see the shift. You see her starting to see that he's trying and when she has her moment where she's clearly proud of the progress we've made. So she had a fun character and story arc in this, and it was an absolute joy working with her. Yeah.
All right, thank you, Emily. Now talking about your overall career. I mean, how did you get into acting? Was it something that you always wanted to do since you were little?
Yes. Yeah. So I started as a child actor and I had a friend who was doing it. My parents did not want us to go into acting. My sister and I, they told us all the reasons we'd hate it, but I was very persistent. And now I can't imagine doing anything else. I was lucky. I worked through my childhood, but only a little bit. I had a very normal childhood. I went to public school, I went all through high school, and then when I graduated, I just couldn't imagine doing anything else. So I continued to pursue it. And I've landed here and I just feel so fortunate to get to do what I love for a living.
If you were not an actress, you think of any other job that you may pursue in?
Oh, that's a great question. Well, I find people really fascinating. So I think potentially going into some sort of psychiatry or um, working in the mental health space, I think would be really fascinating.
Yeah. Is there anybody you want to work with, like the Hallmark world or outside of Hallmark that you want to work with that you have not got to have an opportunity with?
Well, in the Hallmark world, there's tons of people. I mean, they have
Yeah.
so
Everybody
many
wants to
great.
work with everybody, no matter who.
Yeah, my friend Janelle Parrish, who also had a movie in Love You Wary. Her and I did a movie together when we were 19 called Triple Dog. So I would love the opportunity to work with her again, which would be just so much fun. And it's amazing to see all of her success in Hallmark. I'm just so proud of her. And I would say Tyler Hines. I know, he's just I worked with him a few years ago on a movie called Mechanics of Love and we got along really well. He seems like a really cool guy and I know he does a ton of these Hallmark movies, so he'd be fun to work with, I think. And then
Yeah, I mean,
sorry.
you would be a good parent.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, I
You like
think I think
let's
you
put
would
that
have
out
some
there.
like I don't know what movie or the plot or anything, but I could see you would have like a good parent or a good chemistry with Tyler. I mean, everybody has good chemistry with Tyler. To be honest, I never seen one bad parent lady with Tyler Hand.
Okay, amazing. Well, let's put that in the universe. I would love to work with Tyler Hines. And then outside of Hallmark, I mean, if I'm dreaming, I would love to work with uh, Steve Carell, Reese Witherspoon, Laura Dern. I'm just naming all my, favorite actors right now, but who knows what the future holds.
Did you ever turn down a script? Is there any script Hallmark related or outside of Hallmark that you did not feel right or connecting to continue on?
Absolutely. I've been working a very long time, so there's going to be certain projects that you just go, "Oh, this isn't the right fit for me right now." I had one come up for me last year, which was a really interesting script, and I was so flattered to be thought of, and I knew it would be a challenge, but it just didn't line up. I really felt like I wasn't quite the right age to pull off this specific character, and I wanted to do the script justice. And when you know where you're like, I just don't feel like this is right for me right now. So, yes, that does come up. Or you're at a place where you go, oh, I just don't know that I can go to that emotional place in my life right now. This script isn't for me at this moment. Or scheduling. Sometimes that's a thing. But, you really have to, it's hard to say no in this industry. Everyone, you'd love to be working all the time, but it's important to listen to your intuition and really pay attention to whether or not something feels right for you, and trust that there will be more projects in the future, even if you have to say no to this one right now.
What are your strategies or what are the ways to prepare yourself with the line and the script to have a specific, posting or headline or color coding or rewriting them over and over like other actions I've had? I'm always curious about their practice, how they practice themselves alone or with a partner or maybe they work with any skin.
Oh, absolutely. I am very type A. So I like to have a printed script, and I like to flag all of my days. So I get them organized where I'm like, okay, Monday's red flag. So all of my Monday scenes will be in red. And then Tuesday will be yellow. And then Wednesday will be green. So if you were to look at my script, it's all color coded. All my lines are highlighted. I like to do
No letter or no word left blank. Can you, I said no that word left, not colored everything in. I can't imagine.
Absolutely. Yes. I like things to be very organized. It's good for my brain.
Yeah.
And I'm old school. I like paper. I have an iPad, but I like to be able to hold it and I like to look at it. To memorize, I often like to record my lines so I can listen to them while I go for walks or put the dishes away or make my bed, whatever it is. It allows you to learn without being stuck in one place reading. So I do all my voice memos for a week, and my drives to and from set, I'll often be listening to my scenes for the next day or the day after, just to get it in my brain. So it's in my body. And then when I get to set, I can feel so confident and free that I know what I'm doing. I know where I'm supposed to be and what I'm supposed to say. And then just trusting that you've done all the work and you're as prepared as you can be. Because these days move so fast. The last thing the last thing anyone wants to do is sit and wait for you to memorize your lines. You got to show up prepared.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine that, like filming all day or all night and how much work or how much time goes by fast, even though you feel like, oh, this is taking forever, but really not like on clock.
Yeah, it's moving. And your weekends, you're so tired and you have so much to prepare for the next week. So, like, when you're doing these movies, I just consider myself out of commission. Like, I'm not really seeing friends. I'm not doing anything else. I am just living, sleeping, breathing, learning my lines, and just to put myself in the best shape to stay healthy, to get the best sleep I can, and put myself in a position to feel good on set. So, yeah, it's really important to prepare yourself the best way you can.
Yeah. Do you have a genre preference for movies or how much you like working for romance, relationship, love, or you like to work for like thrillers or suspense?
I like to do it all.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, all of them, everything is good. All of them are good. It just depends on the story, the plot, and how they go.
Absolutely. I like to do it all. I hope that I get to continue to do it all. There's something so beautiful about coming into a 3-week shoot where you're filming a romantic comedy and you get to play with animals and learn dances and everything's light and pretty and fun. What a great job. Then there's also something very cool about traveling somewhere in the world and being in a different place for a month or months at a time and maybe going somewhere darker and everything's more suspenseful and it's a completely different tone. It's a completely different style of acting. So I love to challenge myself and throw myself into all different genres. And I've been lucky enough to do that so far, so I just hope to continue. Um, yeah.
Uh, that's all the question really I have. So, is there any project in the future in the works for you if you can't talk about it? No pressure there.
I do have something that's coming, but I can't talk about it yet. But I'm very excited about it and yeah, that's all I can say.
Well, I mean, like I mentioned in the contact email earlier, I mean, I tried to leave a little bit of time at the end of the podcast for the guests if they have any comment or anything they want to say or anything they want to ask me. I'm an open book, open person.
Amazing. I do have a question for you. What inspired you to start this podcast?
But pretty much every guest that comes down the cast share podcast asks me if we have time left of the episode. Really, it would goes back to the Rama Drama live event that was taking place in Florida. That where I met everybody for the first time. I've seen Andrew Walker and I met Taylor Hines, which was the ultimate goal of going to that event. And I met a whole bunch of wonderful people and I would connect them to the Instagram, social media friends that we met through favorite Hallmark movies, favorite actors, favorite actors, and podcasts. And we should sort of connect. I was like, maybe I should do a podcast, but it was not necessarily just about Hallmark. So it took me a while. I don't know if I should do it because, that's the whole appearing and I will have to come up with a team of interpreters and I will have to like coordinate between the interpreter, the actress, or the guy. I felt like you could do it. You could do it. It could be on your schedule. I mean, for the time mom, for the time public, that for whole period teacher. I was doing on your time. It was one podcast a month 3 podcasts a year. I was like, okay, I think I'm gonna go for it. So I started off really good, and then after I think it was after COVID, I started to branch out to writers, to authors, to directors. So I was kind of like thankful for this kind of opportunity and journey. So I'm approaching to my second year anniversary for the Cat Champ podcast.
Oh my gosh,
Yes,
congratulations. That
thank
is
you.
cool. What an accomplishment. And I just think you have a beautiful team here. What an amazing thing that you're doing. I'm so happy to be a part of it. Thank you for inviting me on. And I mean, you get to have interesting conversations with interesting people and you get to share that with the world. That's amazing.
Yeah, definitely. So that's what it is. I was just like look back over the but again, there are some challenges, sometimes last minute changes. I'm like, okay, how about this? Or with the interpreter or with overbooking. That didn't happen to me, guys. Hopefully it will never happen. But again, it was been a really good journey and a growing experience for me. And then as I go on to more events, I meet new people, new writers, or new podcasters, and then try to like, build the community and connect one or another.
That's amazing. And what a beautiful community to be a part of. I mean, specifically Hallmark, even though you branch out further than that too. I'm also very happy to be a part of this family and this community. And it's always lovely meeting fans and seeing how passionate everyone is. And I feel so lucky. It's so cool. And it's amazing to hear that you meeting a bunch of people also is what um kind of lit that fire for you of like, I can do this. That's so
Yeah,
cool.
definitely.
Congratulations on 2 years.
It was really nice to see you again in a movie because I know it's been a while. And then while I started posting, I'm like, Emily's back. Because I can't recall some other movies that you were in, but I know you were in quite a few movies. I was like, she's back, she's good. I'm like, girl, I really love the hair color in that movie. I'm like, that really suits the character. And it was like the red brain that put it out for that movie.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's fun. It's new. It's different for me. I've been blonde my whole life, so I'm glad I can play around a little bit. And I agree. I think it worked for Casey.
Well, if there's no other questions you're curious about or comments, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. So I should again wanted to say thank you for your time coming on the Cat Chat podcast to talk about your newest movie, The Witch Swap, on Hallmark Channel. So if you guys have not seen it, guys, go check it out. Really, really good, really cute, really quirky. Love it.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. It was such a pleasure meeting you all today and getting to chat with you, Kat.
Have a great night and good luck in your future project, Emily.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Bye. Bye.